is an absolute epidemic right now of childhood behavioral problems.
You know, back in 1983, there might have been 1 out of every 5,000 children that had a disorder. Now we're looking at 1 out of 7 children have some kind of developmental disorder, and 1 out of 50 to 1 out of 68 children have some kind of autism spectrum disorder.
And medication has always seemed to be the first and sometimes the only line of defense.
You know, we can take a child with too much circulating dopamine to begin with. We put them on a psychostimulant medication and they become rageful, paranoid, delusional, and psychotic. We need a change.
I would like a combination of the two modalities to kind of come into conjunction with one another, because I do feel that medication has its place in Western medicine. But I am also a firm believer that we're just not doing enough to address some of the underlying conditions that could be contributing to the autism spectrum disorder.
So I knew I needed to get the message out there that there is help beyond medication, and that we're not dealing with some of the food sensitivities, the nutritional deficiencies, and many of the underlying conditions that are really worth investigating.
If we're anxious, there's probably something going on in the gut. There's inflammation that's happening, the food particles are leaking into the bloodstream, causing an overreaction. This is an autoimmune disorder. Our gut we refer to as our intestinal system. It's actually the house of our immune system, and that 80% of our immune system lives in the gut. So when we're sensitive to some types of foods, for example, we have a tremendous amount of inflammation. And inflammation in the gut also means inflammation in the brain. Second thing, a lot of our foods are completely void of these essential nutrients today. Our food is fake food. We have frankenfood today. We have things that are food-like products. They're not real, that's not food. I'm a very big proponent of organic food. Although more expensive, it's a lot cheaper than medical bills in the long run. You know, my daughter, for example, suffers with great anxiety and sleep problems. And we discovered that it was a milk sensitivity. That as soon as we pulled the milk from her diet, her temper tantrums went away, her anxiety went away, and she was sleeping.
So you take one step, you stop eating processed foods, for example, and you just notice the child's behavior improving. You know, there's over 3,000 chemicals in our food supply today. You know, we don't realize what the accumulation of these toxicities are doing to our children, to ourselves.
You know, there is absolute hope for our children and for ourselves. You know, we can take the power back. We can heal our children from the inside out. We can stop the craziness. We can make our children healthier. You know, Healing Without Hurting is a comprehensive book. I mean, I've gotten numerous testimonials saying that it's the most comprehensive book on the market for these disorders. I walk you through a step-by-step guide on how to treat your children. What are the tests to look for? What tests to ask your doctors to perform? What underlying conditions need to be investigated? There has been multiple people who have gotten my book and actually followed my Facebook page since its start in January 2013, and I am just so happy to report that so many people are getting better. Healing Without Hurting offers hope and recovery for our children with ADHD, Apraxia, as well as all of the autism spectrum disorders, OCD, and depression. It's by a mom, for a mom. It's written in such a way that's just easy to follow and really, really comprehensive. And it's available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and wherever fine books are sold.